The following presentation is a Deej Experience production and may not be recorded, rebroadcasted, or retransmitted without the express written permission of Deej Experience, LLC. For more information, visit us online at www.deejexperience.com.
Yeah, it's been a minute, but I'm back at it. Only like to win, it's like a bad habit.
Chamberlain drives in.
He got pounded.
Chamberlain with a putback.
Looking at the numbers, he was
throws over
hearing it.
Muma. Open look for three. Haley Muma drains
The
it.
picture, see how clear it is. I'm high quality, like I have Deej Experience. I'm way up, seems like I've been at the pyramids. Give me an opponent, and I promise I ain't fearing it. I got so much I can lose the game when I've been giving this. Why you see a miracle closer than I'm fearing it. Grinding and grinding, and then I put another gear in it. Driving and driving, but you don't have no one to steer ship. Back on the top,
Right,
you beat
sets
you
it
half
up.
of my logic.
Time with a flip shot, and that was a thing of beauty.
Lock it up. Gotta get that leg freed up.
Back, you know it ain't luck, so pay up my respect. Don't reject the great
back.
better hang up the white flag. You fight back to your nameless. So tell me what the time say. Game time, why they think that they could ever outscore me, LeBron James? Just give me the ball, watch me.
Bolter knocks it down. He's going to come home with it. Nice throw and a good tag.
Oh, he got him.
Doing this for all my life.
Webb with it.
You don't want to waste my
Shot
time.
and a goal by the Beavers. Finds the back corner.
Better get up next in line. Competition left to dry. They could never get in my mind. Please slow it down. I'm a beast on the ground. I'm unleashed for the crowd. Play me down. One man bend. I'ma run it back.
Down that sideline. Oh, there he goes. Into the open 50 and gaining momentum. And the Beavers are going to answer right back after Gerard tied it up. That was Will Allen.
Now they finally get a set block. Oh, and it's a face shoulder.
Oh my, Allison Sawyer, are you kidding me?
If I do fail, I don't have
Catches
none
an
to
arm
lose, so
right
I'ma
into a
go
chin
until I
headlock.
got to a new low. Still
The legs
leading,
worked
and
in,
I'm
and there's a
back like I do.
This one driven to left. It's going to drop in. That's going to be a two-run single for Sadie Dine.
When I break it, it's for my pleasure, but I would never let you go take it. I'm kind of like that. I don't just write raps. You put the ball up, then I'ma spike that.
Oh my! Aubrey Chase! Looking. He's going to go deep in the end zone. Got a man. Caught! Touchdown! Marcus Lambert!
Good D.
Shotgun passers. Chamberlain. Oh, now the 32 seconds. Yetzer fires a three. Kansas.
No one will actually become as great as my team is, cause I got a team of some Hall of Fame players, not to mention Jesus.
Got it there.
Doing this for all my life. You don't want to waste my time. If you want to test my grind, better get up next in line.
To the middle, and Scholar with a header, and we're tied at one. Get the snap away,
Please,
and it's going to be a sand recovered by the Beavers. Touchdown!
I'ma run it back. You give me the chance, I'ma run it back.
Pushes it up. Now shot, got it. Chamberlain on the day. He'll take a three. He certainly will. Sawyer beats us deep left field. That ball is out of here. A two-run dinger for Allison Sawyer.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Deej Experience Sports Stream. I'm Dewey Hurd, and alongside me for a consecutive night in a row is Jack Hasbrook. And the Beavers have traveled over here to Russell, PA to take on the Eisenhower Knights. And, Jack, let's get right into it with our Box It and Lock It pregame show here, as we have a plethora of middle school action here tonight, as I'm just halfway through writing them up. And I tell you what, we're going to have some fun here tonight, and we're going to be getting things going here. But let's talk a little bit about our 3 steps to success. And I'll put it up on the screen. First step, keep our momentum going.
Yeah, it was a bit of a tough night for middle school last night, but on the varsity side, it was about as flawless of a night as you could ask for. 4 pins, 3 or 4 forfeits, and like 6 tech falls. So, you hope you can come out the second night and stay just as hot as you were the night before.
Second step, we have score, score, and score. Beavers did a lot of that last night, and I think that the biggest thing that I take away from that match with Youngsville was that nobody got out of the first period.
Yeah.
All the matches were concluded after the first period. Very impressive.
Yeah, nobody got out of the first period, and most of them were tech falls. So, I mean, there was scoring aplenty. I'm sure if you added all of it up, it would be comfortably in the hundreds for the Beavers last night. So, just keep doing what you were doing on the scoring front there, and should be fine.
And our last step to success here tonight, wrestle like a Beaver. I think that says it all.
Yeah. Come out, wrestle how you should, wrestle how you're expected to in the Beaver program, and it could be another quick night.
Well, I got a few more to go here. So I'll take this off the screen, and we'll put the scoreboard up there. As you're watching Eisenhower get warmed up on the mat. I can't believe they got 14 matches. I think Eisenhower's going to have 2 matches for everybody that they have.
That's what it looks like. I counted 7 kids coming out in the circle.
Well, I got them all. Thank you very much for going down and getting that from our junior high coach.
Yes, sir. I can usually just text it to you, but my phone does not.
It doesn't want to connect the service out here. I understand that, but we'll see what the Beavers can do here. And if it's anything like it was last night, I don't know if I'm going to even mess around with the scoreboard here tonight, as that was just some brutal scoring that just the varsity team came out and opened up with a pin. And then I think they had a tech fall after that, then another pin, and just an awesome showing. The Beavers just came out, they hit the mats running, and they continued to score and light up the scoreboard a lot in the first period, and they wrestled at a high level and just really showed what the Beavers program is all about.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody could have kept up with the scoreboard last night. They were just, it was constant. It was a variety of different scores. You had takedowns, you had near falls, you had, well, I don't think there were any reversals because no Beavers were ever in the defensive last night, but
we had one match that I do remember, but I don't know if it was in a JV match or not, but we had 4 JV matches, so it was good to see Youngsville getting back up to nearly a full roster, and they've really done a nice job of getting that program back on its feet, so to speak, over the last couple of years. But unfortunately, the powers that be decided that they're going to close Youngsville along with Sheffield and get absorbed into Warren and Eisenhower. So we'll have to see what the Eisenhower team looks like next year when they come over to the Beavers.
Yeah, this Eisenhower team is going to look a bit different, and based on what we saw in middle school last night, they've got some pretty good younger kids coming their way. So if I'm an Eisenhower coach, I liked what I saw last night a lot.
Absolutely, and we'll have to see what they can add to the numbers here, as Eisenhower kind of has a little bit of a dip in numbers here as well, as they graduated a lot of the Jaquays and some of the Gorleys, and they've kind of have had a little dip in the numbers, so we'll look to see if that addition of the Youngsville kids can kind of bolster their program and get them back up to a full roster again.
Yeah, it'll certainly be an interesting aspect to watch next year.
You're going to need these back.
as the Knights continue to warm up on the mat there. They should be getting ready soon enough here. Yeah, my count, there are 7 Knights, 14 matches, so you'd expect they're all going to get 2 in tonight.
172. Thank you very much. I'll have these available for you at the end. Well, Jack, I just got the lineups for the varsity, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But we're ready to get the middle school action going here. 14 matches on the card tonight, and I believe, if I had to take a stab at it, you say there's 7 wrestlers.
Yep.
I'm going to say right at the 7-way mark, they're going to stop the scoring for the team.
That would make sense to me. Because
then it just turns into exhibitions, and you have guys that have had double matches going out there. So it looks like they just repeat. So Alex Hellier will lead things off going up against Lane Morrison, and it'll just roll on from there, as it looks like the middle school guys are going to get some action here tonight.
And Dewey, one thing's for sure, just comparing team sizes from last night, the middle school program for Eisenhower, unless all those kids in Youngsville were 8th graders, should see a pretty decent bump in size next year.
Yeah, and we kind of talked about it a little bit too yesterday, that or again on the way over here tonight, talked about that a lot of the weight classes were like 120, 110, and then up. So there's not a lot of lightweight guys coming up. It's going to be some bigger weights there. As Eisenhower finally gets into the middle here, they're going to circle up and head to their corner or their side of the mat, and we'll be ready to get things going as soon as the official comes out, flips the coin, and meets with the captains and has one more chit-chat with the middle school guys on the right-hand side here. But look at that Beaver Nation crowd on the far side from us, filling up the bleachers. This gym looks a lot like Youngsville.
Yeah, it does. Like a
carbon copy.
Yeah, almost.
And we're pretty much in the same spot we were last night.
Yes, we are. Yeah, wow.
I'm ready to get things going here, as the wrestlers pound the mat and get up and get to their side. Nice job of the Eisenhower Middle School coaches. They look good in the shirt and ties.
Dress for success, right, Dewey?
Absolutely. It looks a lot better than jeans and a hoodie. Brings back a little class to the wrestling.
Well, you never know. Some people like the rugged nature of the jeans and the hoodie, you know? They think
I don't know about that.
I think it adds a little bit of a blue-collar aspect to it.
Well, we're ready to get down and dirty here, as the two teams are huddled in behind their respective benches. And here comes Alex Hellier out, and he'll come to the scorer's table, which is right in front of us to our left. And he's itching to get out here. As we'll see the Eisenhower team still talking with the official and behind their bench. All right, I'm going to try it. You talk me in, and I'm gonna give it a go.
I didn't say a single word.
I know, but I just can't. I got to try. Got to try.
I think for middle school you should be able to get some in.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Seems how we have a delay in getting going here. It's not too hard to get it going, so I got Alex's name up there. Matter of fact, I'm going to take some time and get it switched to his last name. There. And we're just awaiting for Morrison to come out with the official and get this opening match going, brought to us by Fox Family Insurance. And I did say that we had the lineup for the varsity guys. And do you want to take a stab at what weight class we're starting at? Don't be cheating. Don't be cheating.
What did we start at last night?
121.
121. Okay. So I'll say a little more tonight. How about 172?
You're right on the button.
Oh, sweet.
172. I think you cheated, but.
Dewey, I can't see that paper from all the way up here. Are you out of your mind?
Well, here comes Mr. Lane Morrison up to the scorer's table. He'll step up into the starting blocks, and we're ready to get the first match going here. And we're underway. Alex trying to work with that. Morrison trying to work with that front headlock. Alex does a good job of getting out of it. Right back into a collar tie as they'll work back into the middle of the ring here. Both looking for wrist control, neither one able to get it. Morrison shoots in on a single leg. Alex pushes down on the head to try to get his legs freed up. Morrison continues to work forward, and he'll come up the back, and Morrison will score a 3-point takedown. Alex going to have to work up off the bottom here. 45 seconds to go here in the first. Looking for that reversal. Can't get it. Still looking for it. Morrison hanging out on the hips there. Kind of in a spiral ride here. Coming up on 30 seconds to go in the first period. Morrison out in front 3-0. Alex not had an attempt to get out yet. He's in his referee's position, but Morrison keeping him down on the mat. 15 seconds to go in the first. Again, Hellier looking for that sit and switch. Can't seem to find it. Morrison tries to flatten him out, but Hellier stays up in his referee's position. And that's how the first period's going to come to a close. Morrison out in front, 3-0. Morrison's going to defer to the third. And Alex has choice. And Alex going to take down to start the second period. And Jackie didn't really show any glimmer of hope of getting out in that first period after that takedown.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to see if he can't wear Morrison out a little bit here and get back up to his feet. Morrison did a good job of keeping him down onto the mat as they continue on here in the second period. A couple of times, Hellier did get a sit and switch in, but just couldn't capture that leg to get the escape. Morrison trying to capture the arm and bundle it together underneath as Hellier goes to work on that wrist control. Gets that arm freed up. Morrison right back with that spiral ride. A minute to go here in the second. Has that wrist control, and as he needs to get back up to a stand-up with that wrist, but he lets the wrist go. Gets hip separation now. As he'll got to push back with your shoulders here. Good pressure back, but Morrison gets him back down onto the mat. 40 seconds to go here in the second. Now Morrison looks for a half on the near side. Nothing there as Hellier grabs it and gets wrist control. 30 seconds to go here in the second. Alex continuing to move. Look for that sit and switch again. Nothing there. 20 seconds to go here in the second. Morrison trying to flatten him out. Has wrist control on the near side, but Hellier does a good job of high turning as he tries to get that half worked off that Morrison has in. 4 seconds to go here in the second. And Jack, that's how this one's going to come to a close. No change in the score after 2 periods. It's still 3-0 in favor of Morrison.
Yeah, just couldn't seem to break Morrison's grip there and get any kind of escape or reversal. So
Morrison's going to take down to start the third as he looks to build on that 3-0 lead he has. Alex covers, and quickly to a stand-up is Morrison. Alex gets him right back down to the mat, gets a leg worked in. Has an arm captured, looking for the guillotine. His leg kind of popped out there, so you don't really have that leg turked anymore as he goes to work there, trying to get him flattened out. And he'll settle back in after getting that leg work back in, going for a snowplow on the far side. Morrison gathers the wrist and gets it to the other side into a stand-up. Alex stays in with control on the leg. Morrison able to get his hips out, and he'll get the 1-point escape to make it 4-0. Right back to work. On their feet, Alex trying to get the corner. Does a nice throw by and settles in behind with a 3-point takedown. Makes it 4-3.
35 seconds to go.
Yeah, he's looking to cut him loose again. Morrison kind of has him bundled up, but doesn't really have control. Now he's going to get a Relevant Church reversal and take a 6-3 lead. Ten seconds to go. Hellier's going to score a Relevant Church reversal. He's going to cut him loose. He's going to need a takedown with 2 seconds to go. And he can't come up with it, and it's going to be a 5-3 victory for Morrison. Valiant effort there by Alex, but comes up just a little short.
Yeah, high stake match there. Got really close at the end. I think if he had just a couple more seconds, he might have been able to pull it out.
Coaches are discussing the final score of that match, but it is a victory for Morrison. I think the final was 6-5, wasn't it?
Yeah, and the score showed 5-3, so I think they were trying to.
So they
might be having some tech issues.
Anyways, up to the second match. It's going to be Eli Bale going up against Walters. And I'll try to get that taken care of on the scoreboard.
Into collar tie, lets him loose. Back into one. Trying to get around. And he does, that's 3.
Alex gets in behind, gets a 3-point takedown, as I just got the scoreboard updated. So Bale back to work here, or starting to work on top. Trying to get that armbar in. Minute to go here in the first. Got a half in, he'll hop over. He'll run that half with wrist control. He needs to settle him back down onto the mat. Walter's doing a good job of turning the hips to stay off of his back. But Bale's got him compromised. Getting a little high there. And Bale does a good job of regrouping and settling back. He'll jump in behind and go back to work on top. 4 near fall points will make it 7-0.
Nearly had him, but some good leg strength there to be able to rise up enough to turn over.
Got a half worked in again. Close to the out of bounds, 20 seconds to go. And he's going to roll him over one more time. Walters fighting valiantly to stay off of his back. But the referee, I believe, is holding 4 near fall points there with 8 seconds to go. And they're going to be out of bounds. Another set of near fall points awarded will make it 11-0. As Bale has a major decision on the board already here. 3.8 seconds to go in the first.
And it looks like we're once again having a score discussion, but it looks right to me.
It does. 2 sets of 4 near fall points. That's 8 plus the 3 for the takedown makes it 11.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see any issues unless there's a time problem.
Well, evidently, the referee said something to both benches.
Maybe some.
I haven't seen anything change on the scoreboard yet as we get going here in period number to finish up the first period. Eli going to finish out with an 11-0 lead after one period. Eisenhower has choice, and they're going to take top. Walters wants to ride on top here for a minute. Bale will settle in on the starting blocks. Walters covers on top, and we're underway in the second, and quickly spinning around and scoring a relevant church reversal is Bale. Makes it 13-0. He'll go to work on wrist control here. As the hammer lock. Middle of the back, and he'll keep that arm there, and it slips off. So he'll have to go back to work on top here. Bale digging that arm out. Walters doing a good job of keeping his hands out in front. Not giving him much of anything. Bale gets an arm bar in on the far side, looking for wrist control on the near side. He'll circle the head and flip Walters over. 44 seconds to go here in the second.
That's going to be tough to
fight off your back for that length of time, but Walters is doing a good job of it. 32 seconds to go. And there's the Bracken Funeral Home pin with 28 seconds to go in the second. And that'll get the Beavers on the board.
Oh, you know what, Dewey? I wonder if the discussion was about overall team points, because the scoreboard here has 0-0 still. I wonder if that's what they were talking about at the end of the first match.
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe these are the unscored matches.
Oh, we get up to match number 3. It's Teagan going up against R. Williams. As they go to work. And Teagan's going to get a 3-point takedown.
We're going to get him over.
Kind of a funky, unorthodox move there as he's trying to tuck the head underneath with a head and arm. Able to get out of that. Teagan's got a half in on the far side with wrist control. And it don't look like the half stayed in there, so he's going to try and bundle him up here. He'll roll him over. Kind of a funky hold. And there was only a 1 count, the official said.
Yeah, I was to say, it wasn't count. Don't think he got any points for it.
22 seconds to go here in the first. Now Teagan comes with the near side cradle. Has it locked up and gets them tipped over. Stacking them up. 7 seconds to go. It comes out. And he'll get the 4 near fall points as the first period comes to a close. Head to the second with Teagan out in front, 7-0. Williams chooses neutral for the second. Teagan will have choice in third. Trying to shoot in on the far leg and goes again, and with the other hand gets it. Nice single leg. He's going to have to work on back in bounds as he'll switch to a double, trying to keep it from going out. And he'll get the 3-point takedown as they go out of bounds. And that'll make it 10-0. Williams will go down on the restart. Teagan will cover on top. Good offense in the upper position here. Gets that half in again and rolls him over rather quickly. He'll get his legs out and tee off as he has them stacked up. Continuing to work him over. Good position there. Nice and tight. 46 seconds to go here in the second. Teagan trying to work the legs in. And Williams doing a great job of getting off of his back there. He's just going to give up 4 near fall points. 25 seconds to go here in the second. And that should be 14-0.
Yeah, just needs another point.
As he has an unorthodox cradle set up there. Kind of a ball and chain. And he'll flip him over again with 8 seconds to go. 4 more near fall points being held by the official. Looking for the fall here. He's not going to get the fall, but at the end of the second, he's going to get a tech fall as his lead is 18-0. Tech fall at the end of the second will push the Beavers' lead up to 11-3. As we get up to Logan going against M. Williams.
Got a leg. And that's going to be 3 for the night.
3 for Williams as he gets a nice takedown here early in the first. Gets a half worked in, and he's going to make quick work of Logan here. And there's a Bracken Funeral Home pin at 104 of the first period. And that's going to get the Knights right back into it here. And we're quickly up to the next match. Landon against Fanelli.
Still neutral here.
Both working on wrist control. Landon with two hands on the wrist. Trying to work it into a single leg. He's going to get the takedown, take a 3-0 lead here.
Looking to roll him over.
Got the armbar in with wrist control, trying to step over the head to get him flipped. Now he needs to settle back just a little bit, go to reverse half. But he's going to hang on to that hold long enough to get, looks like 4 near fall points to get it a 7-0 lead. 35 seconds to go here in the first. And he's going to cradle him up. Near side cradle gets him stacked up on the mat. Fanelli does a good job of fighting off, but 4 more near fall points going to make it 11-0. Landon right back with it, power half now. And he's going to try and push it through. Get him flipped over one more time with 7 seconds to go here in the first.
And it's going to be a tech either way, or at minimum.
I don't know if the official's holding. I think he stayed off of his back. No, 4 near fall points. That's going to make it 15-0 at the end of the first period. That'll be a tech fall. Nice work there by Landon. And here comes Ashton Woods. And his opponent is Salopek. Neither one really tying up here. Coming up on a minute to go in the first. Both guys kind of sizing each other up. And Ashton gets them in. And we have a Corey Manor injury time for the night. And it looks like he has an issue with his right arm. To me, Jack, it looks like he might have a dislocated wrist.
Ooh.
Or a broken wrist.
Ooh.
As it's a medical forfeit.
Yeah, not what you want to see.
And he's going to probably head right to the trainer into the locker room. As Salopek knew there was something wrong with his arm, and he had to take a medical forfeit.
I believe that will take us to match 7.
And this is Caden going up against Johnson.
In a collar tie. Both guys looking for control.
Neither one getting the advantage here as it's early. Coming up on a minute to go in the first period. They break clean. Staying in the middle of the mat. As they look for inside control. Neither one letting the other one have it. As they continue to circle in the middle of the mat. Now in on a single leg. Gets them down to the mat. Caden does. Back up to their feet, puts them right back down again with a double leg takedown here. And he'll look for the near side cradle. He'll get the 3-point takedown. And he's looking to put him right back, or put him right over on his back.
Mighty close.
Has a reverse half worked in. Johnson trying to belly down. 16 seconds to go. Caden working here. Gets the Bracken Funeral Home pin with 7 seconds to go in the first. Well, we're going to set the scoreboard back to zeros for the team score, as there's no action on the scoreboard here. As we get to bout number 8. And it's going to be Cole Proper going up against Morrison. This is Morrison's second match of the night. Lane Morrison. In on a single leg is Morrison. Proper fighting it off. As he'll stay out front trying to tuck the head underneath. Morrison staying with the leg. And we have a stalemate called by the official. So we'll restart in the middle.
Morrison's in on another leg, but he's blocked again. And we might be working our way to another stalemate here.
45 seconds to go in the first. No score in this match. As both guys working on the same move, or the same part of the move, or same part of the body, I would say. Morrison switching to a double here. Proper in on a leg. 30 seconds to go in the first. Morrison has a little bit of an advantage. His hips are a little bit higher.
Prober's just got to keep a hold of that leg.
He's two hands on it, going to have a stalemate with 15 seconds, and that was to Proper's advantage to get that stalemate, as Morrison, I think, had the better advantage in that scramble.
Yeah, I agree.
But just neither one could advance their position. As Proper shoots on a double leg, and Morrison blocks it and reshoots on a single. And Proper in on a leg as well, and the period's going to come to a close, and we're scoreless after one. Proper has choice. He's going to defer to the third. Morrison's going to take down. as he checks with his bench to make sure that's what he's going to do. Morrison's all set on the starting blocks. Proper to cover. We're underway as Morrison's quickly up to a stand-up. Proper trips him back down to the mat, looking for an armbar on the near side. Trying to get it worked in. Morrison flat on the mat. Looks like maybe Proper has a 2-on-1 underneath. Trying to get that into an advantage. Morrison trying to break it clean. Gets wrist control and is able to get that off. Proper comes right back with a tight gut as Morrison gets up to his referee's position. 50 seconds to go here in the second. Proper trying to roll him over here with that tight gut. Morrison in the referee's position trying to pass that wrist control over. Proper staying right with him. And they're going to go out of bounds. And I believe Proper still has maintained control as they went out of bounds. So Morrison down on the restart. 35 seconds to go here in the second period.
You get the feeling that this is a matchup between two guys who are pretty stinking equal, Dewey.
Pretty evenly matched as Proper works on the hip toss or the hip pressure. Keeps them down onto the mat here. Working with that 2-on-1 underneath. 17 seconds to go here in the second. Still scoreless. Proper's had him over, close to being over a couple of times, but not able to get him over long enough to get a 2 count. And it looks like we're headed to the third period, and it's a scoreless match still. And Proper says, I got to go down to start the third period. Morrison to cover on top. Trying to get him rolled over. Proper looking for wrist control. Morrison looking to get a half worked in. Proper stays in his referee's position. A quick look for a switch. Nothing there. Morrison trying to work with a 2-on-1 underneath. Proper almost did a high turn there. As he'll try to step over. Trying to capture a leg now. As they continue to work with 50 seconds to go. Proper with 2 arms on a leg now. 45 seconds to go. Morrison trying to get the far side cradle locked up. As Proper will go back to work on the bottom here. Gives up on the leg. He needs a headhunt there a little bit. Morrison a tick high. Under 30 seconds to go now. Morrison trying to flat him out, just can't get Proper to move. Proper reaching back for a switch, nothing there. 12 seconds to go. Morrison stays right with every move. And it looks like we're going to head to extra time here, Jack, as the third period closes out and we're still scoreless.
Yeah, neither guy budging at all.
So 1 minute on your feet. See who has more left in the gas tank here.
Yeah, that's what it's coming down to.
Bonus time here. Neutral. Proper looking for a takedown. Morrison looking for it as well. Both guys defending well. Not giving up the legs. Coming up on 40 seconds to go. Proper in on a front headlock.
Gotta get turned around.
You got to find a way to get the corner. He's going to try and flip him over right there. Continue to try to get that corner. And we have a stalemate called. I think if Proper could have kept his feet moving a little bit more, he might have been able to get around that corner.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised with that stalemate call.
26 seconds to go here in the first overtime. They go back with it. Proper shoots on a double, nothing there. Morrison reshoots, gets a leg. Proper's going to lace through the legs to prevent the takedown. 11 seconds to go here in overtime. Morrison trying to come up the back. Proper blocks it. 2 seconds to go. We're going to head to ultimate rideouts. Still scoreless after the first overtime.
What a match, Dewey. Two 30-second periods, the official just said.
Yes, so there'll be two 30-second periods. The first one looks like Lane has choice, and he's going to go down. And Proper's going to have to cover on top. So whatever is scored in this 30 seconds, they'll have another 30 seconds with the other wrestler having choice again. As Proper gets him down onto the mat, working with that wrist control underneath. Trying to keep him down on the mat here. 15 seconds to go. Morrison trying to get wrist control and pass it over his head. Proper staying right with him. Working with that tight gut, trying to get him tilted over. It has a leg Turk now. And the period comes to a close. And Proper's going to have to go down. Into the second rideout period.
Still completely scoreless.
Proper settled in on the starting block. Morrison to cover on top. And he's looking for that switch. And he got good position, stays with that leg. And he's just got to pop his head. He just needs to pop his head here, and he'll have the takedown, or the reversal. And he's close.
Yeah,
10 seconds to go. Pops his head. And scores a relevant Church reversal to win it 2-0. What a barn burner this was.
Wow.
Almost could say that was a match of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd be hard pressed to find two guys who are as evenly matched as that.
Well, we'll move on. It'll be Eddie going up against Walters. Eddie's a strong little wrestler, as we've seen him over this winter session. And he's quickly on a three-point takedown. And he's got the half worked in, and he'll come through the legs. A good Navy ride there, gets him flipped over. Keeping that control. 50 seconds to go here in the first.
Long time to fight off your back.
Well, he needs to settle back in. He's a tick high. Keeping that half in. Eddie continues to work, trying to get it locked up with a cradle now. Walter's doing a good job of staying off of his back.
Yeah.
25 seconds to go, and there's the Bracken Funeral Home pin with 23 seconds to go in the first. And we'll go it up to R. Williams taking on Landon.
Into collar ties, fighting for control here. Neither guy really budging.
Neither one getting the advantage so far. And finally, Landon gets the 3-point takedown. Has them stacked up in a cradle and gets the Bracken Funeral Home pin with 58 seconds to go in the first. Well, Jack, I haven't seen a score come up at all.
Yeah.
For the middle school for the team score. As we move up to Four Springs here, Phoebe taking on M. Williams.
Phoebe going in on a leg, backed off, looking for another shot. Got one.
Staying on the leg there.
And there's the takedown. As she goes to work up top.
Looking for wrist control with a tight gut. Oh, she has an arm bar in on the far side. She'll settle back in behind as that bar came out. Still with the wrist control with a tight gut now. 45 seconds to go here in the first. Four Springs out in front, 3-0. She'll come underneath the arms, looking for that wrist control. Gets that arm in the hammer lock. Nope, didn't get it all the way in. Settles back in behind. Trying to get an arm bar in on the far side. Gets that one. With wrist control on the far side. Underhook, I should say. As she tries to turn the corner to get him rolled over.
And
now she'll go to reverse half here. And the first period's going to come to a close. And 3 near fall points will be awarded. And Four Springs will be out in front 6-0 after 1 period. She's going to defer to the third. And Williams is going to take top to start the second. So Four Springs settles in on the starting block. She's all set to go. Up to a stand-up. Looking to break that 2-on-1 on wrist control. Quickly into a standing switch as she captures the leg on the way down to the mat. And she'll work into him and score a relevant church reversal. Should be in a reversal there, but now she's just going to get with 1 point for the escape or back to neutral. Makes it 7-0. And she's quickly in on another 3-point takedown, and it's 10-0. 50 seconds to go here in the second. Four Springs looking for that arm bar again. Has that tight gut worked in. And she'll go to a crossface series out front, trying to bundle the head to the knee. And Williams does a good job of stretching out, staying long, not letting that cradle get put in. 30 seconds to go now. Four Springs with a major decision on the board, looking for more here. Right back to work. Down to 12 seconds to go here in the second. Looking for that arm bar on the far side. Can't get it to get in. Staying with the tight gut, keeping them flat on the mat. And that's how the second period is going to come to a close, Jack. Four Springs out in front, 10-0 after 2. And Four Springs is chosen down to start the third. As we get going here in the third period, Four Springs up to her feet. Looking for wrist control, has it, and she'll get the separation and score the 1 point for the escape, making it 11-0. Front headlock. Williams had a leg, but not able to pull it in. Forsprings able to break it clean and try to get around the backside. But Williams again captures a leg as she tried to get around. And she continues to work that corner. She just needs to keep moving. 50 seconds to go here in the third. Williams in on that leg still. And we have a stalemate called, so we're back to our feet, neutral, with 46 seconds to go in the third. Fabian. Forsprings trying to set up another takedown. She nearly got the takedown there. Williams has kind of captured a leg, but she's going to get the 3-point takedown. That'll make it 14-0. 22 seconds to go. And she'll push the head towards the knee. Near side cradle just about locked up. And he'll go over. And there's the pin with 8 seconds to go in the third. As Forsprings really worked hard to get that pin.
Yeah. Yeah, right down to the end.
And we'll move up to Robb against Finelli in the next match. And I would imagine the next match after this, Jack, they're going to not do.
Yeah, if I had to guess.
We had scheduled Salopek, but he has an injury. So I would imagine we'll just go down to the last match of the night.
And on a leg. And got him. Looking to get him on his back quick.
Oh, Robb out in front 3-0 here. Just under a minute to go in the first period. Finelli has to get up off the bottom here as he's trying to work with getting wrist control. Robb doing a good job of keeping him down onto the mat as they spin around a couple of times, and he'll look to lock up a cradle here, stacks him up right at the out of bounds.
Oh, and there's a reversal, Dewey.
Relevant church reversal. 3 near fall points for Robb and a reversal for Finelli.
And an escape for Robb.
So that was 3 near fall points for Robb. Makes that his score 6.
7, he got an escape.
I know.
Oh.
Finelli had the reversal, and then Robb got the escape, so I believe the score should be 7-2.
Yes.
With 6 seconds to go here in the first. And on a double leg as a horn sounds, and they're still neutral. And the first period comes to a close with Robb out in front 7-2. And Finelli will have choice. He's going to defer to the third. And Robb's going to go down to start the second period. We get going here in the second. Robb looking to get out. Finelli keeps him down onto the mat. Trying to do that hip block. They get him flat out onto the mat. Robb's into a stand-up, and he's going to get another escape. Makes it 8-2. In on a single leg now. He'll look to pick that up. As he gets in behind, he'll trip him back down onto the mat. Needs to pop the head. He'll get the 3-point takedown, and his lead is 11-2. In on a switch here. Robb still with the leg, but Finelli trying to get the corner. 35 seconds to go here in the second. Robb still with control as he has that leg. And he'll settle back in behind and go to work on top with 26 seconds to go. Half on the far side. That's in deep. along with that tight gut, but he's not able to utilize it. 10 seconds to go here in the second. Second period comes to a close with Rob out front 11-2. And Finelli's going to take neutral to start the third period. Both guys working on their feet here. Both staying square with one another, not really giving up anything. Rob trying to get into a collar tie. Finelli just keeping him at arm's length, trying to snap him down to the mat. 53 seconds to go here in the third. Rob with a major decision and on a double leg, and he'll get another three-point takedown. And that'll make his lead 14-2. Looking for a half. 36 seconds to go. Continuing to work on those halves. Close to the out of bounds, 22 seconds to go. And he'll work towards the middle. 12 seconds to go, half on the near side. And he'll reach through, and that'll be a full Nelson. And that'll be 1 point for Finelli, making it 14-3. That's a no-no. 8 seconds to go. Finelli will have to go down on this restart. And it's going to be a major decision for Rob, as he'll try to lock up the far side cradle, but he's going to run out of time. He's going to get the decision win, 14-3. And we should be up to our last junior high or middle school match of the night, Jack. As it should be Ashton Woods coming up against Johnson.
Yep.
Underway here. Ashton with the collar tie, trying to snap him down. Johnson comes right back with a collar tie of his own. Again, Ashton tries to snap down. Johnson fights it off. 1:05 to go here in the first. Ashton still working with that collar tie, but not able to get an advantage with it. Johnson kind of circling with him. And he'll come back with a collar tie of his own here. 45 seconds to go in the first. Now Ashton goes with wrist control with that collar tie, but can't utilize it. Continuing to work in the middle of the mat. 30 seconds to go in the first. He'll shoot in on a nice double leg, and he plants him on the mat as Woods gets a three-point takedown.
15 seconds to go.
He'll ankle pick to get him flattened out. Looking for the half. He'll get him rolled over. 2 seconds to go. And gets the Bracken Funeral Home pin with 1 second to go in the first.
And that, Dewey, should wrap up middle school action.
It should, as it looks like the teams are kind of getting together to come through on the the walkthrough. So either way you look at it, for scoring, the first 7 matches, it was a 28-9 decision for the Beavers, and if you go with the last 6, it was 31-0. So I'd say middle school won this match here, as we will take a little bit of a break and reset the scoreboards and be back with the varsity action with the the Box It and Lock It pregame show in just a little bit. So we'll take a little bit of a break and be back when we have things ready to go. So we'll be back in just a bit.
The following presentation is a Deej Experience production and may not be recorded, rebroadcasted, or retransmitted without the express written permission of Deej Experience, LLC. For more information, visit us online at www.deejexperience.com.
Well, good evening, Beaver Nation, and welcome to the Deej Experience Sports Stream. I'm Dewey Hurd, and alongside me for a consecutive night in a row is Jack Hasbrook, as we are over here in Russell, PA, at the Eisenhower High School. The Beavers taking on the Knights of Eisenhower. And, Jack, we just got finished up with our middle school action, and the Beavers looked awful strong in the middle school ranks here tonight.
Yes, they did. There were 13 matches, and either way you split them down the middle. The Beavers would have won. So
let's get into our Box It and Lock It pregame show here and talk about a few things. Starting off with our Snap Fitness 3 Steps to Success. Number 1, keep your momentum going. Big win against Youngsville last night, 72-0, and nobody got out of the first period.
Yeah, about as flawless as you could have asked for the Beavers, and they won in every way that you could hope. All pins and all techs.
A quick rundown. We had 4 pins, 3 forfeits, and 6 tech falls. And every last match did not get any longer than the first period.
Yeah.
So a very dominant performance by the Beavers. That's why we say keep your momentum going here. Right into the second step. Score, score, score. And that's what we saw from the Beavers last night. They need to do the same thing here tonight. Continue to be on that offense and looking to continue to add to that score.
Yeah, the best way to keep your momentum going, do exactly what you did last night, and that is score, score, score. I mean, you couldn't even keep up with the scoreboard updates. It was just constant takedowns, near falls, pins, everything you could want.
Well, and that'll lead us into our third and final step tonight, and I have it wrestle like a Beaver. Beavers have just been on a tear this season, in the top 15 in the state with their ranking, and they just have kept the gas pedal smashed to the floor, constant pressure, moving forward, looking to score all the time, and looking for to build a lead and make it bigger, and they just are relentless. So they just push it at a high level, and look for them to do the same thing here tonight. And if they all wrestle like they did last night, Eisenhower's going to be in for a hurting tonight.
Yeah, if they perform as a Corry Beaver wrestler is expected to perform, especially coming off what they did last night, then yeah, it's going to be another quick night for us, Dewey.
Well, we're going to be starting at weight class 172, and that weight class is brought to us by Corry Custom Machine, as I have my sheet here somewhere to help me out with it. So there it is. And usually at 172,
Mr. Mason Savitz.
Mason Savitz is usually at 172. So he's been our choice a couple of I shouldn't say a couple of times. He's been a choice once on his own and once as a senior for our Corry Higher Ed Spotlight Wrestler of the Night. And as we say that, I'm going to go over who we have picked for tonight. It's another senior, and we're going with Isaiah Bale, our Spotlight Wrestler tonight. Again, brought to us by Corry Higher Ed. And look for to have him have a prominent handle on how this match goes.
Yeah, or is he in one of our forfeit classes? That's happened to us a couple times this year.
Isaiah weighed in at 138, so he'll be at 139. And they do have, let me double check. I do not have a 139, so unfortunately that's going to be a forfeit.
So Isaiah's 6 points are going to come in awful handy then.
It will. So unfortunately that's the way it goes.
That's not the first time that's happened to us this year. In fact, I think it's the third time that's happened to us this year.
So this is garbage, so I don't want to. I tell you, I got too much paperwork. Gets in my way. So anyways, let's get Isaiah off the board here. Get back to the live camera shot there. So Beaver circling it up here, and then it'll be Eisenhower coming out and circling up and getting warmed up. Something I wanted to talk about in our Box It and Lock It pregame show here, Jack. We talked a little bit about it on the ride over here tonight. Was our postseason is coming up rather quickly.
Yeah.
For the Beavers, and actually everybody in
District 10.
In District 10. And I wanted to bring up the standings and talk about it a little bit here as we will get the Eisenhower Knights out here and get going for their warm-up. And then we'll be into our starting lineups brought to us by J. Gill Heating and Plumbing. So they're in District 10, Region 3, the Beavers are. And they're sitting at the top of the region with Titusville right behind them. And Union City in third place with a 3-2 record and a 9-9 overall record. Union City is. Conneaut is 1-2 in the region and sitting with a 2-6 record. So you got Corry, Titusville, and Union City that will probably make it into the postseason as a team.
Yeah.
Eisenhower's down in fifth place with a 1-3 record and 1-8 overall. And if we switch over to the other region, I don't want that. We'll switch over to, I know LaBeouf is in the other region. So we'll bring that up and look at it. Oh, it starts with an. Try this again here a minute. Just bear with me, Jack. You're so patient with me. They're in Region 4. As we look at the Region 4, you have Cathedral Prep at 4-0, 18-1 overall. Jenna McLean in at 3-1 at 3-2 overall. And Northeast at 3-1 at 9-1 overall. And Fort LaBeouf in fourth place with a 2-2 record in the region and 8-4 overall. And I would imagine all four of those teams are going to get into the postseason. So potentially speaking, you would probably have the Beavers with a wrestle in for the District 10 team duels. You might have to have a wrestle in against Fort LaBeouf or Conneaut before you're able to get all the way down to there. Or it just might be that they take a 16-team bracket down to Sharon in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it could be. We might have some company coming to Sharon with us. Because if Union City makes it, then Mr. Mountain, of course, will join us. And does Billy do wrestling for Northeast?
I think he's maybe done one or two matches. John McGuigan has been helping out with that. But really, there's not been a lot of coverage out of the Northeast guys. So we will cover it if we can, if they make it down there. But Northeast sitting at 3-1, 9-1 overall. So we kind of wanted to see what Northeast's record is. Northeast beat Fort LaBeouf 42-25. They beat Girard 57-15. Beat Northwestern. They did lose to Cathedral Prep 56-9. And they took third place at the Southmoreland Holiday Classic, and they beat Harbor Creek. So they're at General McLean tonight, so that's going to be a kind of an interesting night to see how they do against General McLean there.
Yeah, that could be a big one. And this is all relevant, folks, because we will be seeing some of these teams, including Fort LaBeouf and Northeast, in just a couple days, as they will be guests at the Corry duels on Saturday.
Yes, we will have the Corry duels on Saturday. I'm glad you brought that up. Wrestling should start right around 8:30 in the morning. The Beavers are in one pool. There's going to be two pools there, 11 teams altogether, and it'll be a fun night of wrestling as we will be there all day long to bring you all of the Beaver action. And boy, that's a lot of good teams coming out for that, and I look forward to doing that on Saturday. But we have tonight to take care of first and foremost.
Yeah.
As we continue to watch the Knights get warmed up. And then in that southern region, the other half of the bracket for District 10 team duels, you got Reynolds and Hickory and
Grove City
and Greenville. And I'm trying to think of some of the other teams there. I thought Titusville was in that region down there, but they're in Region 4 with the Northeast and General McLean and Fort LaBeouf and Cathedral Prep. So they're going to have to fight their way out of the northern part of it as well. So it's going to, this postseason's not going to be easy for whatever teams get into it.
Yeah, no, that region there, that Region 4, that's a tough region there, Dewey. That's a gauntlet.
Tough region there. Also, I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but you got Hickory also down in that southern region as well. So just a ton of good competition, and it's going to be a battle to get out of it and to get to Hershey this year.
Yeah, it might even be a battle to get to Sharon this year, just depending on what they do.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to line that up and how the wrestle-ins are going to go, but some strong wrestling in the western side of PA this year, representing District 10, and whoever comes out of it and gets to the trip to Altoona this year, not to Hershey. They moved it to Altoona this year.
So, little closer.
Gonna have to work hard to get there.
Although I am sure all the teams that do make it will miss their annual chocolate factory tour.
They're after the medals at states more than they are the visit the chocolate land. So that'll about wrap things up for the Moxett and Lockett pregame show, as we're just awaiting the Knights to finish up their warm-ups. And so we can get into our rest of our pre-match stuff, as we'll have the anthem brought to us by the American Legion Post 365. As we see the Knights finally circle up in the middle of the mat here. And again, I'm starting that match 172, brought to us by Corry Custom Machine. And it will be Mason Savitz opening things up here tonight. And what a tough spot to open up at against the Beavers.
Yeah. If we're talking, and the Knights seems like they're gonna have a little bit of a hole to dig out of forfeit-wise, and Mason Savitz is not the wrestler you want to see first if you're the Knights in that scenario.
Yeah, we anticipate forfeits at the last four matches of the night from 139 through 160. So things are going to go quickly once we get through the first 9 bouts. And once we get done with that, it's going to get wrapped up in a hurry here tonight. So looks like the teams are ready to go through their lineups. And we will turn it over to the PA announcer, and I will be silent for a minute.
Eisenhower High School would also like to remind students, parents, players, and fans that good sportsmanship is everyone's responsibility. Booing, taunting, inappropriate language, and intimidating of officials, players, or coaches are not at the highest ideals of interscholastic education and will not be tolerated and grounds for removal. The coaches and athletes 139 for Corry, Isaiah Bale, Aiden Beckering, Lewis Heller or Jeremiah Johnson, and for Eisenhower, Wyatt Neal or Ryan Chambers. At 145 for Corry, Will Allen, Devin Mursky or Zach Nichols, for Eisenhower, no entry. At 152 for Corry, Colton Porter or Cody Proper, and for Eisenhower, no entry. At 160 for Corry, Lamesh Albers or Cooper Hodak, and for Eisenhower, no entry. At 172 for Corry, Mason Savitz, and for Eisenhower, Corey Bucks. At 189 for Corry, Nolan Terry, and Landon Nickerson. For Eisenhower, we have Bryson Wilkins or Bryce Colson. At 215 for Corry, Kale Albers, and for Eisenhower, Jacob Stewart. For 285 for Corry, Owen Nickerson, and for Eisenhower, Aiden Hubach. Tonight's first match will start at 172. Good luck.
Well, there you have it, Jack. The J. Gill Heating and Plumbing starting lineups brought to us by the PA announcer here at Eisenhower. We're starting off at 172. Savitz against Bunts. And we're about ready to get things rolling here. Let's bring up the scoreboard and get it updated. There we are. Savitz. There's no Owen Bunts. Okay. We are all set.
Official taken care of last.
Everything taken care of here. And we'll be ready with the Fox Family Insurance opening match here. And it looks like we're going to have, first and foremost, the JV match. As it's going to be Beckerink coming out here. And he'll take on Wyatt Neal. So I'm just going to leave the scoreboard the way it is. I'm not going to try and change it. Beckerink in on a single leg. He'll get the three-point takedown. He'll wrestle from in front as he goes to work on top here. Looking for the far side cradle. Has it locked up. As he'll try to get him rolled over. Continue to work that into a tighter hold. And gets him flipped over. Official holding 3. Makes it 6-0. Gives him an escape. Makes it 6-1. This is Beckerink against Neal. As they go back to work on their feet here, minute 5 to go in the first period. Beckerink with a collar tie as they break clean. He'll set up another shot. As Neal's on a single leg, Beckerink kind of catches him on his way in. Doesn't give up the takedown as he tries to bundle the arms together. Neal still on that leg. 40 seconds to go here in the first. As he'll just, Beckerink goes just to work on the bundle. Finally gets his leg freed up. He'll settle in behind with another takedown and has a near side cradle locked up. 9-1 is the score. Beckerink looking to flip him over. And he'll work him over ever so slowly. Beckerink with good control here with 10 seconds to go. And gets the pin with 4 seconds to go in the first period. A Bracken Funeral Home pin. And Beckerink is victorious in JV action.
Good way to start the night off for the Beavers. Obviously doesn't count for the overall team score, but you know, good tone setter.
Absolutely. And now we should be into the varsity action, as it should be Mason Savitz coming out for the Beavers. Bunts comes out for the Knights, and here comes Savitz. .172, again brought to us by Corry Custom Machines. Wonderful place to work. We're underway here in varsity action. Savitz working his office, a nice quick duck under. Gets in behind, now he needs to get him down onto the mat to secure the takedown. And he gets the three-point takedown. Right back up to their feet. He'll give them the escape. And this is reminiscing of last night.
Yeah, it is.
In on a single leg again. Down to the mat we go. And he's going to cut him loose again. It's going to be 6-2. And he gets another takedown. Back up to their feet, and it's 9-3. Make it 12-3. 12-4.
They're giving you a little time to breathe, you know.
Maybe. I'd like to see Mason work on his ground, as he will try to go to work on there. He's just building up takedown one after another. It's 15-5. Like to see him wrestle on the mat. He's just a takedown machine here. 18-6.
One more will do it, Dewey.
And there's the takedown, makes it 21-6, and that's a tech fall with 31 seconds to go in the first period.
But hey, you were able to keep up that time, right?
I tried to keep up best I could there. As I'll move on to the next weight class, 189, brought to us by Nat Butcher Block. Landon Nickerson comes out, and he'll be going up against Colson or Wilkins. In on the front head and arm, trying to get the corner. Staying on that front headlock. He'll get a half worked in, gets him flipped right over. And Landon will wrestle from in front with a three-point takedown here. Has him compromised, nearly getting him in the near fall, but no near falls will be awarded. The scoreboard says 5-0 though. I didn't see the official put up his hand for 2 points, but
I didn't either.
I'm going to go with what the scoreboard says.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, no, now the scoreboard's got 3. I think the scoreboard's got to flip.
You're right. It is 3. I was misreading it.
Yeah, it's got to flip from how we do it at home.
It's 3-1 now as he gives up the escape. Nickerson looking to get another takedown late or halfway through this first period. I'm going with Colson. Don't know if that's right or not, but we're going to go with it. Under 30 seconds to go, first period. Landon looking for some control. Has that front headlock. Snapping him down to the mat. Got to find a way to get that corner. And he'll go with the near side cradle now. Has that underhook worked in. Trying to dump him over on the mat. 10 seconds to go. And he'll look to get the control, gets the three-point takedown, takes a 6-1 lead. Six to 1 after the first period.
First, second period we've seen in a hot minute, Dewey.
Nickerson deferred to the third, and I believe Colson has chosen down to start the second. Nickerson covers. Keeping good control, looking for that snowplow. Finally gets that arm tucked in. Looking for the arm bar on the far side to go with that wrist control. Landon working hard, finally gets his own wrist back. As they'll look to get him flipped over here. Comes underneath the arm for that wrist control again. As he'll look to get that arm out into a hammerlock, can't get it. Colson does a good job of defense here. As they'll look to tilt him over with a 2-on-1 there, not able to get it. 1:15 to go here in the second. Landon right back with it again. Doesn't have him flip far enough to get the call. Now he'll try to get that power half worked in. And he stays with that power half. Not able to get it to work as Colson fights that half off. 50 seconds to go here in the second. Now he gets that power half in again in a better circumstance to get it flipped over. And he does get some near fall points here. Just needs to continue to improve that position. Gets chest on chest here. And there's the Bracken Funeral Home pin at 23 seconds to go in the second. So 2 matches in, Jack, and the Beavers have 11 points on the board.
Yep.
And we'll move up to 2:15. This will be Cale Albers versus Stuart.
And we're off. Cale takes a shot.
On a double leg.
Got him.
Puts him right to his back. And there's one kid that isn't shy about getting the Bracken Funeral Home pin. And he'll get it at 1:41 of the first.
Found his opening, took it, and got his kitty immediately.
Owen Nickerson comes out at 285. And he'll go up against Huback. Maybe not, forfeit.
And that's going to make Eisenhower's climb all the tougher.
Yes, as we flip the weight classes over. 285 brought to us by Fork and Barrel, Library Bar and Grill. 215 was UTEG's Body Shop. Now we're over to 107 as Kafferlin will come out for the Beavers, and he'll take on Fedorchuk. Fedorchuk. .107 brought to us by J.H. Napa Auto Parts. Kafferlin in on a leg, trying to secure the takedown.
Trying to get out of bounds, the Knight is.
And he'll get the takedown and keep him in bounds. Up to his feet. Kafferlin puts him back down onto the mat. Stays in control with that 3-0 lead. And they're out of bounds as they both got up to their feet. 1:07 to go in the first period. Fedorchuk's going to have to go down on the restart here. Working in the middle of the mat here. Kafferlin with an armbar in. Looking for wrist control to go with that armbar. Works it with a 2-on-1. The armbar comes out. It'll work on a near side cradle. Just can't seem to get anything to go. Fedorchuk's trying to work with that wrist control and pass it over. Kafferlin comes right back with a tight gut. 20 seconds to go here in the first. Only scoring was a 3-point takedown that Kafferlin had earlier in the period. Has a half worked in on the far side. And it looks like this first period's going to come to a close with Kafferlin out in front 3-0.
Into the second we go.
Fedorchuk's going to defer to the third period. Kafferlin's going to take down. And Roman's really done a nice job of maturing this season. He's been at 107 for most of the season. But he's really come into his own here as he's looking for that switch, a standing switch now as he gets up to his feet. As he'll look to come underneath the leg. Now he's just going to try and pick him up altogether. Fedorchuk's just going to cut him loose. And it's a 4-point lead for Kafferlin. Fedorchuk in on a shot here. Kafferlin fights in it back. And Fedorchuk looks like he's going to get the 3-point takedown. Kafferlin fighting it off somehow.
He must have had a leg the whole time or something.
A leg and an arm or something.
I
couldn't see.
Yeah.
They're on their feet. Fedorchuk's in behind. He just needs to get him down onto the mat for the takedown. And he gets
there
it.
It is.
It's 4-3. Looking for the far side cradle. Kafferlin's got to break that hold. 50 seconds to go here in the second. It finally gets it broke free. Fedorchuk right back to the tight gut here. Kafferlin up to his feet looking for wrist control. Fedorchuk's got to return him to the mat. Kafferlin with wrist control in his back pocket, and he'll get the 1-point escape right into a single leg takedown. That'll make it 5-3. Switching to a double, and he puts him down on the mat with another 3 points, makes it 8-3. 17 seconds to go here in the second. As the scoring is kind of picked up here. Kafferlin working on the near side. And they're going to go out of bounds as Fedorchuk was up to his feet. And Kafferlin just kind of pushed him out of bounds to not give up the escape. 3.7 seconds to go here in the second. Fedorchuk ready to go. Kafferlin covers, keeps him down on the mat, and that's how the second period comes to a close with Kafferlin leading 8-3. And now Coach Proper's going to come to the scores table with a question for the official. I'm guessing it has something to do with the score.
I'd assume.
I think he's looking for back points maybe when he had him down on the mat that first takedown. Or did it have to do with choice?
Yeah, it sounds like it had something to do with choice.
Well, irregardless, Fedorchuk's going to take top to start the third period. Kafferlin's been able to get out a couple of times. As we get going here, right up to his feet, Kafferlin looking to get wrist control and get out. Fedorchuk's going to get a technical violation for locking hands. As Kafferlin has that wrist control in his back pocket looking to get the escape. And he will get the escape. So that'll be a 2-point move there one for the technical violation and one for the escape, and that's a 10-3 lead here for Cafferland. Need one more point to make it a major decision. We're into a bear hug here. Fedorchuk trying to hip toss him over. Cafferland picks him up, and he'll put him down onto the mat. And we're going to get a roughing call. A little roughing call there. So that will make it 10-4. And there was no control by Cafferland either. So we're still neutral here. Cafferland goes into a collar tie here. Fedorchuk in on a single leg. Cafferland trying to keep his hips moving and not give up the takedown. Got to elevate your hips here, work back in bounds. Just one leg in by Fedorchuk. Cafferland working with the leg in now. And he's going to get the three-point takedown. He's going to have a full set of 4 near-fall points as he has them stacked up at the out of bounds, still with one leg in.
And they finally got called for out.
Well, he's going to get the three-point takedown and 4 near-fall points, and that should make it 17-4.
Which means another takedown, and we're in tech
Well,
fall.
he's got control, so he's going to have to get 2 more back points here. As Cafferland gets him broke down flat on the mat, looking to get that armbar in on the near side. Has it in. Now he'll go back with that tight gut. Fedorchuk up to his feet momentarily before Cafferland put him down. He's looking for a quick tilt here. Got 1 count. You need 2 to get to 2 points. 15 seconds to go. Cafferland with that armbar worked in. And he'll try to dance around the head here. Fedorchuk does a good job of blocking. And it looks like the third period's going to come to a close. And it's a major decision for Cafferland. Just 1 bonus point. And the lead for the Beavers is now 27-9. That wasn't a tech fall, right? That should be 27-0.
Unless they gave him a 2 count, and we missed it.
Well, we're up to weight class 114, brought to us by the Salt Church. It'll be Logan Willis out here. And he'll be going up against Rever Caudill. Caudill with the advantage. Looks to get Willis over to his back. The scoreboard did get it corrected to 27, by the way, Jack.
Okay. I was going to say, I didn't think we missed the 2 count, but.
Looking for the bracket funeral home pin, and he gets it at 127 of the first. Caudill.
And that'll get the Knights on the board.
With a bracket funeral home pin, makes it 27-6. And we're up to weight class 121. Brought to us by Crossroads Fellowship. And I believe this is Owen Anderson.
That is, I believe, who they read off during the starting lineups.
For the Beavers, and he's going up against, I believe, Sean Miller. And we go out of bounds, and we're still neutral. Miller gets the advantage. 3-point lead here.
That's him up.
So it's 3-1. In on a single leg. Both guys have a leg for control. looking for that advantage. Anderson not giving it up, and we go out of bounds. A potentially dangerous call by the official as Anderson had that knee kind of turked around a little bit.
Yeah.
So we are neutral here. A minute to go in the first period. Miller out in front, 3-1. Trying to do a slide by, swipes at a leg, misses it. Anderson does as he goes back to work on his feet here. 45 seconds to go in the first. Again, in on a single leg, and Anderson comes back with that ankle pick, trying to maintain somewhat of control here. Miller just needs to work up the back. And Anderson's going to try to lace through the legs to block the takedown, but he's going to belly down, and Miller's going to get another 3-point takedown to take a 6-1 lead. 10 seconds to go in the first. So the first period comes to a close, Jack, with Miller out in front, 6-1. Miller's going to defer to the third period, and Anderson's going to go down on the start of the second period. Picking up the action here in period number 2. Miller working with a tight gut, trying to chop the far arm down. Anderson's got to get up off the bottom here. Can't get nothing there. Miller kind of switches it up a little bit here. Goes to work on the near arm. And he'll get that coffee grinder going to get that arm bar worked in. Has a 2-on-1 underneath with it. As Anderson goes to work, gets his arm back. Partial stand-up. As Miller puts him back down onto the mat. Now Anderson comes over the top of the leg on the near side. And Miller goes to work on a crossface series. Trying to get it locked in, can't get it. Under a minute to go here in the second. Anderson gets 2 arms on that leg. He'll try to hip heist over, and he'll score a relevant church reversal. It's 6-3 now. Trying to get him into a near fall circumstance. Has a Navy ride going, but just can't seem to get him to flip over. Anderson in control here with 23 seconds to go in the second. He needs to step over with that head and arm. 8 seconds to go. And we have a stalemate call with 4.7 seconds to go in the second. Anderson making this one interesting as he's trailing 6-3. Miller to go down on the restart, just 4 seconds to go. Anderson's going to stay in control as the period comes to a close, but he'll trail 6-3 headed to the third. Miller will take down to start period 3. Anderson covers, stops the first move by Miller and gets him flattened out onto the mat. Trying to get that 2-on-1 underneath. Anderson staying in good position, but he's got to find a way to get him flipped over. Now he's going to go to bundling the arms out front, trying to drive the knee into the head. Should be the other way around, but still with that bundle out front. Anderson all the way out front. Needs to find a way to get Miller flipped over here. Minute 14 to go in the third. Now he'll come to the side, looking for the near side cradle. Not able to get it. Official telling the bottom guy he's got to work up from the bottom. Under a minute to go here in the third. Anderson working with a tight gut. Trying to get the armbar on the near side, looking for the half on the far side. And another corner bar and grill stalling call on Miller, 40 seconds to go. Looking for a ball and chain, trying to tilt him over. Got him to go, but Miller rolls all the way through, 30 seconds to go. Again, trying to bundle those arms together, can't get it. Nearly losing control as Miller's in on a leg now, up to their feet and out of bounds. Still with control is Anderson, but he's trailing 6-3. As Miller needs to stay busy on the bottom here. Next call on stalling would result in a point for Anderson. As Miller will settle in on the starting blocks, 14 seconds to go. Into a sit. Anderson got to find a way to get him flipped and flipped quickly. Anderson stays with that sit, and he's going to get the victory, 6-3. No bonus points there, but a victory nonetheless.
Makes it 27-9.
As we get up to weight class 127. And this is, I believe, Griffin Williams going up against Braswell. Quickly in on a double leg is Carson. He'll take a 3-0 lead. Carson going to work on top, has that arm in that hammer lock. Taking his time with that. Trying to get that thread the needle. Looks like he has it locked up. Got to work him back into the inbounds. He'll slowly take him to his back. And there's the pin, the Bracken Funeral Home pin at 1:06 of the first. And Carson reestablishes the momentum on the Beavers side. And we're up to 133. It's Marcus Meredith coming out for the Beavers. And he will have Chambers, I believe. Both guys looking for some control here. Both guys looking for wrist control in the middle. Nobody getting anything. In on a front head and arm headlock is Meredith. He'll throw him by and get the three-point takedown. Carson going to work on top here.
Lets him up.
Makes it 3-1. Carson again trying to work on that. Nearly got an ankle pick there. Chambers stays out of trouble. 50 seconds to go here in the first. Marcus continuing to work here on his offense. Tried to duck on it, didn't have wrist control to go with it. Marcus in there with the head and arm again. Did a nice throw by the last time he had this. He's trying to snap him down onto the mat. He'll go with a near side cradle. He'll settle in behind and get another 3-point takedown to make it 6-1. 20 seconds to go here in the first. Carson working with that 2-on-1 underneath. Chambers walks the hand across the mat to break that arm bar. And Carson comes right back with the bundle. With that crossface series, can't get it to go, and the first period closes with Meredith out in front, 6-1. Chambers defers. And Meredith will choose down to start the second. Meredith up to his feet. Chambers puts him back to the mat. A roll through, stays right with him. Meredith gets up to his feet again, and he's going to headhunt out of that as Chambers just kind of slid off into a funk roll, but it's going to be a relevant church reversal for Meredith, and that's going to make it 8-1. Meredith going to work on top here. Half with a tight gut. 1:20 to go here in the second. Chambers working with wrist control, and Meredith is just going to cut him loose. It's 8-2. Back on their feet now. Both guys working. Trying to do a shrug by there, and Marcus catches him into that head and arm again. Front headlock, tried to throw him by, trips him, trying to cover him behind, and good scramble here by Chambers. And he won't give up the takedown. Chambers just got to pop his head out, and he'll have the takedown. He'll roll him through, and Carson staying with him. 40 seconds to go here in the second. Neither one able to get the advantage off of this scramble. And they roll out of bounds, and we're still neutral. Good scramble again by both wrestlers here.
Yeah, some nice defense there by both guys, really.
Yeah, the next person that scores in this one's going to either win the match or is going to make it a lot closer. Chambers trailing 8-2 right now. 15 seconds to go here in the second. Don't want to give up something late here. 7 seconds to go here. Chambers in on a single leg, and Meredith trying to get around the corner to score the takedown as the period comes to a close. It's 8-2 in favor of Meredith. And Chambers has choice. He takes neutral to start the third. And we get going. An 8-2 contest right now. Meredith looking to seal the deal. Another takedown would give him a major decision. And another bonus point for the Beavers on the team score. Meredith catches him in a front headlock. Trying to heel trip him down to the mat. Can't get it. Chambers kind of catches Meredith, puts him right to his back. That's going to be a 7-point move. Trying to sink it in nice and tight. Meredith keeping the shoulder off the mat. That's a long time to fight off your back. Chambers has got him stuck. 1:10 to go here in the third. Meredith continuing to work. Chambers tries to advance his position. Marcus still working on the bottom and gets the Bracken Funeral Home pin with 54 seconds to go in the third.
Boy, that's a tough one, Dewey. That shows you how a match can turn on its heels at any given moment.
Yeah, that was he just kind of stuck him there at the end. And caught him in a kind of a scramble move there. And the Knights get the victory. And we're up to our Corry Higher Ed Spotlight Wrestler of the Night, Isaiah Bale.
Thankfully, our sheet we got was wrong, and he does indeed have a match.
And he's quickly in on a takedown. And Bale's going to go right looking for the bundle of the arms. And it's a Bracken Funeral Home pin at 145. I believe that was Neal out there. 145 of the first. And now we're going to have 139 was brought to us by Corry Community Foundation. 133 was Corry Central Labor Club. 127 was Lake Erie Appliance. I forgot a few of our sponsors. I apologize. Will Allen comes out at 145. It'll be a forfeit. And 145 brought to us by Ross Becker Insurance. Up to Carney and Ruth at 152. It'll be Proper coming out at 152. It'll be another forfeit. And 152 brought to us by Carney and Ruth. 160 is K&E Surveyors. And it'll be Lamech Albers coming out here. And he'll take the forfeit as well, and that's going to wrap things up here. Beavers winning 57-15 is going to be your final here. And Jack, let's get right into our P2 Paving post-game report and get things wrapped up as we have a few awards to hand out. And we got to get into wrapping things up, starting off with a Healthy Smiles offensive move of the night.
Do you have anything in mind?
I knew you'd throw it right back at me. I kind of like the way Carson Braswell came out, immediately got the takedown, and worked it into a fall as he got the pin rather quickly. 106 of the first period. I'm going with that with our offensive move of the night. Our Erie County Community College defensive move of the night. Take a couple of those moves that Carson Meredith had in his match with Chambers, and that a couple of times there I couldn't believe that he didn't give up a takedown or a reversal or back points or whatever. Chambers did get the victory, but Carson or Marcus coming up with some good defensive moves in that match to keep it very close, and that's the Erie County Community College defensive move of the night.
Yeah. Yep.
Our Karate Chevrolet player of the day, our match of the night.
So I had two in mind. I was thinking either Kale or our spotlight player because they both got pretty immediate pins.
Well, let's go with Isaiah Bale. He got the pin in 15 seconds against Neal, and Kale did a nice job also. He got the pin in 19 seconds, so we'll go with the 15-second pin. Isaiah Bale with the Karate Chevrolet player or wrestling match of the night. And we got one more award to hand out. That's going to be the Deej Experience Sportsmanship Award, and you got to give that to Chambers as he came out and was trailing 8-3 at the time. Hit a 7-point move, stuck Meredith with it, and eventually got the Bracken Funeral Home pin to get the victory. But a nice job there by Chambers. And so that will wrap things up here tonight from Eisenhower. Again, Beavers home on Saturday, 8:30 in the morning. It's a Beaver Brawl. We're going to have all the action for you here on the Deej Experience on the Deej Experience Sports Stream. And I'm done for tonight. I've had enough. Mouth is starting to fail me. So for Jack Hasbrook, I'm Dewey Hurd. Thanks for tuning us in. Until we meet again on a future broadcast, we're going to say God bless and good night.